Hello humans, Dr. Brian Laird, Human Energetics here. Next round, perception. Let's talk about your perception. Okay, every single person on the planet has a unique perception. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm out on my walk this morning, and this is the one that seemed to have come to mind. So, what is your perception? Your perception is uniquely yours. There is no one else on the entire planet that has your perception. Okay? That is an impossibility. So when everybody's talking about wanting somebody to know them inside out, sorry, can't do that. It's impossible. Okay? Because you are comprised of every single millisecond you have existed on this planet. Your perception is 100% uniquely yours. Okay, so this is one that they weaponize against us on a regular basis, and how they do that, okay, is the following. What you'll do is you'll go and see something, some kind of like this. You see this, and it gives you a perception of what it is you are seeing. Some people will think it's absolute crap. Other people will identify with it. Okay, and then what they do with that is that they put you against each other. They make you fight about it. Okay, when there's absolutely nothing to fight about. Okay, what you are receiving right now is for you. So no matter where you are on the scale of your life, of your existence, of being here, as you watch this, you will perceive it in a certain manner. So instead of fighting about it with somebody else, saying, I got this, and then squabble between each other, don't squabble. Be interested. Ask the guy, hey, what did you get out of that? Say, well, I got this. You're like, oh, cool, I didn't get that. I got this. And then you can compare what you have. Okay? Because you are unique. You are all here on your journey to learn. Okay? You live this life basically independently. The perception of this place is 100% what you have experienced throughout your entire life, your existence here, every single millisecond of it. So if you get into some kind of group and they're telling you, just forget about the past, walk the fuck away. Do not ever fucking forget what you have been through, what you have endured in this life, because it is pretty fucking unique. Okay, so do not forget anything. If you decide to forget something and just chuck it aside, oh, that wasn't real, blah, 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 you are then locking yourself into a repetitive loop. You will now constantly experience that thing in some other form, but it will be that experience until you acknowledge it. Okay, once you have acknowledged it, you can then store it. You don't need to carry it around. It can go into the database of experiences. Yes, I experienced that. It sucked, and I see where you're going. Allow me to give you a little advice of how I handled it. It's not going to be how you handle it, but this is how I handled it. And maybe that will help you. All right, and share. The cool thing about humans is their natural instinct is to help. It is the natural instinct of a human to help. All right. But because of the social structure and the system that has been derived here, which is quite inhuman, okay, you now don't do that. And when you don't do that, you feel the regret. You would like to do that, but you now know that if I go do that, shit's gonna happen, I'm gonna get in trouble, this is gonna fucking happen, and so you don't help. And that is the design of the system. They do not want you to help each other. Okay, they want you in misery because that is what they thrive on. That's what they exist on, is negative energy. They are chomping it on down. While you are miserable, you are feeding them. In my last video, I talked about the structure of Earth, the hell, earth plane, and heaven structure, the stack of those things. Okay, so lost my train of thought. There it is. Got some birds zipping in around here. It's just kind of cool. I'm on the shoreline. You see this? Oh, look at that. That guy over there, that's Bentley. He's a buddy of mine, friend of mine, somebody I helped out. You coming out? Dude, you coming out? So we met a couple of months ago. He was in a bit of a state. And I gave him a little hand to come back around. I don't see the girls anywhere. He has two lady friends that usually hang out with him. And they're Crystal and Jim. That's Bentley. When I found Bentley, you know, crows are kind of hard to get close to when you're not used to dealing with nature. So I was out for my walk one day and I saw the crows sitting at the corner of a piece of rock that I walked across. Two of them took off, and he didn't. I didn't really take notice of that at the time, but when I got up to the corner, there were some trees between him and I, and he didn't move. I was only about 8 feet away from him. So I was getting a really good look at him. Okay. So he's right there. Okay. So I was getting a really good look at him. So I slowly worked my way around the trees till we were actually in the open together, and there were some rocks between us. You know, but I managed to kind of creep up and sit about 8 feet from him. And he just sat there and listened to me yanner away, talking to him. Here I thought I was pulling off this really cool nature thing, right? Hooking up with the birds. There's the feet over there. I don't know if you can you see them? I don't know. Anyway, after about 45 minutes, he hopped off the rock and started walking away. That was when I realized that, oh, you're hurt. You can't fly away. I have a captive audience. So then I just started walking along behind him and talking to him, and he was trying to run away. He was kind of hoping for a quick death, I think. He was a little beat up. He had a busted up left leg. One wing was kind of gimpy. So he'd obviously had some kind of altercation and had kind of given up. You know, so he was kind of sitting there, and as the two women took off, and I think he was telling them, just leave me here. You know, there's a human coming. He'll kill me. Little did he expect to be tried to talk to death. So he was trying to walk away, and I just kept following him. I'm sure he was saying, go away, leave me alone. But anyway, after a few altercations of tripping and falling and stumbling around the shrubbery and whatnot, he ended up stuck in some trees. So I got in there and gave him a hand out, got a branch, and he hopped on the branch, and we both kind of struggled our way out of the trees. And then I stood on the shoreline with him on this branch for over half an hour. But it was getting dark, and the mosquitoes were finding me, so I asked him if he wouldn't mind, you know, I want to go home. It's going to rain. But anyway, I got him launched in the air, and he made it over to a tree, so he was up off the ground. So I knew he was going to be all right for the evening as long as he stayed in that tree. And that's where it kind of began. So I kind of walk along, and he and the girls usually come and meet me every time I'm walking along here now. And I'll bring stuff along for them, peanuts and bits of bread and stuff like that. So the first thing I actually tried to feed him was some vegetables. After I seen he was hurt, I said, well, he's going to need some nutrition to get better. So I went home and I got a bunch of veggies and chopped them up, and an apple, brought him along, tossed him down, and he walked right over him, didn't pay him any mind. I thought maybe it's just stress and whatnot. But then the next few days, as I walked by, all those vegetables and stuff were still there. They actually sat there for 5 days. Nothing touched them. Nothing touched them. What the fuck are we eating? These are organic vegetables that are supposed to be good for us. Okay, so I've kind of reserved my choice on that now. I'm kind of waiting for the farm markets. But yeah, they just kind of slowly shriveled up and fell into the rocks and disappeared. Where I dropped them is a very high traffic area for seagulls, raccoons, other rodents, other birds, crows, all of them pass by this area. Nothing touched them. The insects did not eat them. Okay, that was concerning. So I don't know what they're doing to us, but it's not good. It's not good, people. Okay. Anyway, where were we going? Back to perception. I don't want to run this too long. I'm almost approaching 10 minutes here, so I'll get out of your face. But your perception, 100% unique to you. Compare notes. Don't fight about it. Okay, compare notes. Help each other. Humans naturally help. Okay, when you run into somebody that doesn't want your help and they're all grumpy and buggery about it, yeah, don't fucking help them. Guess what they're not? Okay. You're not alone here. We are not alone here. And there's a lot more to that story that I'm going to be happy to share with you. And things I've discovered through my research. This is the 3D realm. There's a fourth entity here that's not supposed to be here. It is measurable. It is 100% measurable. I did a whole lot of testing for 3 years with a Faraday cage, one that you can get in. And it was quite an amazing piece of work that has just, every time you use it, blows your mind. Just the truths that come out of it are mind-blowing. I'll share that if anybody's interested. Alrighty. Have a fantastic day. Let's start moving forward. Let's start building some positive energy. Okay, we got to get out of this negative shit because it's not going to bear well for us if we don't. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.